Hello and welcome to WashingtonExec's video series. I'm your host, Amanda Ziadeh, and with me today is Floyd West. He's the Vice President of DOD for Software AG Government Solutions. He's an engineer by trade and has 20 plus years of experience helping the DOD and large commercial organizations solve their most complex IT problems. So thank you so much for being here with me today, Floyd.
Hey, great to be here, Amanda. Thanks.
Of course. So today we're discussing the API-led integration and why it's key to the new DoD data strategy. So DoD released the DoD data strategy in September of last year and in support of the National Defense Strategy and digital modernization. So I wanted to start by asking you, Floyd, what is DoD's vision?
Yeah, the DOD data strategy really is all about transforming and taking that organization to a data-centric organization and using all that data they have stored in these systems to help the department fulfill a number of missions, everything from being better prepared to improving outcomes on the battlefield to more efficient operation and procurement.
So with the size of the DoD, that's a big vision. What are some keys to accomplishing those goals?
Yeah, well, the DoD has recognized the importance of being able to locate data, access data, make data available at speed and scale. And that's a significant challenge, as you pointed out, because the DoD is the largest agency in the US government, and certainly one of the most complex organizations in all the world. So you think about it, they've got every type of application and system that you can imagine, from COTS to custom built, from legacy mainframe to even modern cloud-based SaaS applications. And they support a wide range of functions across, a broad range of domains, like business functions for HR and logistics, for example, or warfighting functions. Think of command and control systems. And they're deployed in public clouds, private data centers, and even disconnected environments across even classified and unclassed networks. So it really is a complex environment that they're working in.
Yeah, and with that amount of data and complexity, what challenges does that pose and how do you overcome them?
Well, I'd break it down into 4 challenges around that DoD data strategy. I'd start with accessibility. That's the ability to retrieve data. When you think about that, all those disparate data sources that we talked about, from the multiple applications, legacy mainframe, all the way to cloud-based, you have to be able to handle structured data, unstructured data. It could be databases, applications, et cetera. And probably the biggest challenge of that is that a lot of the existing systems today weren't necessarily designed with data interoperability in mind.
Right.
And not only that, you're going to be bringing new systems on board quickly, so this won't be a static environment. The second one is discoverability, which is really the ability to find data. So how do I know what's available? If I'm trying to build a new application or I want to access data quickly, what's available and out there? How do I expose that as a data source and make that known and publish that out? So really, how do I catalog it? How do I create common services that can be used across the DoD? The third one, and perhaps most important, is security. So who can access that? Now that I've exposed the data, who should have access and who has accessed it? And how do I control that access? So being able to apply policy-driven approach to that data, and really enabling what you're hearing a lot about, which is the zero trust architecture. So we used to concentrate a lot on north-south data flow, meaning outside the firewall and inside the firewall, but now we need to really concentrate as well on that east-west traffic.
Gotcha.
And then the fourth one is the scalability. How to handle large amounts of data, large amounts of concurrent users, and the time to access data is critical in a lot of those applications. Think about a command and control system where I need real-time or near real-time access to data. So, and then certainly making it highly available. The systems can't go down. That data needs to be available and in disconnected access as well.
So what technology or solutions should the DoD consider in order to enable their data strategy?
Well, key enabling technology is an API-led hybrid integration platform. And there's some keys in that you really should look for. One is the ability to connect to anything. So out-of-the-box connectors to these systems that exist now, but also to future-proof, because you don't know what systems are going to be available or needed in the future. So you should be able to connect to virtually any system now and in the future. You also want to have a no-code or low-code capability, which is going to speed your time to market of exposing this data and providing it to all these folks who need access to that data. But you also need to be able to map and transform it, because these systems weren't necessarily made to talk to one another, and they're not going to be all in the same format. So you got to be able to map to common formats and transform that data. But then finally, that data that you're exposing, these integration points, you want to expose as APIs and have that ability to do it. That's going to extract out those data sources and really hide complexity. But if you're going to then do that and expose them as APIs, which we'd recommend, your system, your platform absolutely has to have a robust API management capability. That means gateways, both macro and micro gateways, which will enable that zero trust architecture, and the ability to monitor and audit access and who's calling those APIs, who has access to them, and be able to apply runtime security policies to control that access. And then finally, architectural flexibility is very important. This means the ability to deploy in the cloud, on premise, or even at the edge. But you need to be able to deploy in a high availability mode because these systems can't go down. They're absolutely critical. And then finally, you want within that architecture and in-memory data caching capability to provide high access speed to that data.
So where can those interested go to find more information about this?
Yeah, for more insight into these challenges and how to enable a successful implementation of that DoD data strategy, we have an ebook available. You can get that by sending an email to info@softwareaggov.com, or you can go to our website, softwareag.com, and learn more about our web methods API and integration platform.
Awesome. We'll be sure to include those links below. Thank you so much for joining me today, Floyd.
Thank you, Amanda.